Good morning, healthcare innovators. Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa here at the GuideWell Insights Lounge at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine 2017. I have with me the ever beautiful Shawna Butler, who leads partnerships and outreach for Exponential Medicine. Welcome back, Shawna.
Thanks, this is so fun.
Yes, it is so fun. So day 2, here we are already. We're kicking off. We want to welcome everybody who's been following along on our hashtag XMed.
And man, have they been following along.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, we are so excited. I mean, we introduced this year the XMed Vanguard.
So what's that?
So what we did is that we recognize that there are a lot of people who have really interesting perspectives, and they come at it from all these different worlds. So whether it's game design, the making space, people who are in different parts of healthcare from the standpoint of working with people in their homes, working with people in academia, so in the training places. So we reached out globally. We reached out from the standpoint of thinking about the different sectors and the activities, the ecosystems that people are in, and we invited them to watch along with us. So some of them are actually here.
Oh, nice.
But most of them are actually across the globe. And then as they're seeing the content, we ask them to respond to it. What are their ideas? What are the different use cases that maybe we hadn't thought of? So we have seen some just really amazing ideas come back to us from what they had seen on stage. So yes, very active in the social space.
So thank you, Twitterverse, for supporting us and all of the little pockets of innovators that are all over the place.
Vanguard.
The XMed Vanguard, shouting out to them and to everybody else who's been following along on hashtag XMed. And so today, please continue to contribute to the conversation. I know today is a very loaded day, and there's a lot of different speakers that are going to be on stage.
Yes.
And Shawna's going to break that down for a second, but we definitely want to hear your perspectives, so please feel free to weigh in. Also, we have the XMed Facebook page, or actually it's the Singularity University Facebook page, and so if you do want to post there, please do. We'd love to see some pictures, some watch parties, whatever you guys are doing.
So we have this competition with Instagram. We want to see these amazing photos, and the photos really are capturing the interaction.
Yep.
So that's, to me, what I think has been so fascinating is you can hear the buzz in the background.
Yeah, it's very busy.
So when you hear all these folks that are just chatting, so many ideas, and you walk past and you hear these really deep conversations about work that people are doing.
Yeah, this is the only place where you can go to the breakfast buffet and hear people talking about their microbiome.
And
blockchain.
Yeah, like, who knew?
So, Shawna, tell me what's on tap for today. Give me some ideas of the themes that are going to be explored.
So we're going to open up talking about the biome, doing more on the biome, the omics. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the conversation that Moira Gunn is going to be facilitating, Rob Knight, Larry Smarr. Larry Smarr, the most quantified man. There's more data on Larry Smarr than probably,
it's incredible.
The entire room combined. So he's got us on the data. So they're going to be talking a lot about how we get the insights out of that. So it's going to be really interesting to listen to them. Let's see, where are we going next?
Where do we go next?
Oh my gosh.
The exponential medicine panoply of themes here is just so deep.
So thinking about the future of the regulator. So we were really fortunate to have Bakul Patel back with us this year again from the FDA. There's been an awful lot of forward thinking in how do we match the regulatory process to so many of the technologies that are emerging.
Right.
How do they think about those in a way that get them to the public in a way that's safe? How do we work with the people who are innovating to help them understand the pathways? How does the regulators really understand how they need to be responsive? So really going to be interesting to see all of that and to hear some of the announcements. And if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the FDA, really fabulous.
They've had a big year this year, and they've been more progressive than ever before. So it'll be exciting to hear what Bakul Patel talks about today. Hopefully he's got some good news for us.
Absolutely, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
And then Kent Eichwald. So the age wave, so the longevity piece. And
that's been a big topic this year.
Right. So I think that hold on to your seats because he is a force of nature. You're gonna love that.
Fantastic.
We're gonna invite back. We want to hear some updates about the X Prize with the tricorder. So the winner of that was announced earlier this year.
Good.
So we've got some folks coming back to share with us what's going on with how that is getting commercialized.
Okay.
So we'll have some more around that. And then an area that's really fascinating and a lot of people want to understand more about this regenerative medicine.
Okay.
So we'll have Bob Hariri here with Cellularity. Peter's going to be chatting with him a little bit.
Great.
So I think you need to, and we've got a great session planned with Bob.
Fantastic.
So that definitely want to be on the regenerative medicine. And then I think the other thing that's near and dear to my heart that I've been working on is the Cancer X Prize. So we're going to have an update around that. we'll have Rich Wender from the American Cancer Society,
Fantastic.
who is flying in and then
Just
flying
for
back.
this.
He's just flying in.
He's lovely too.
Yes.
Very, very
You get-
forward thinking.
Right.
Yep.
So
He's
you'll
a
be
friend
able
of
to spend a
GuideWell.
little bit of time with him. And that's going to be, one of the things that I think we do really well here is that we feed the mind, we open the heart, we touch the soul. And there are going to be a couple of pieces in here that be prepared to really feel human in
Good.
this.
You say that and I got goosebumps because
Yeah.
I remember the first time I came to XMed, and I think it was the second year of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, for anybody who's never been, you really got to put it on your bucket list, especially if you're in healthcare innovation, because the way it's been described to me by multiple people is it's like a fire hose of information, and
We
it's so
do
true
refer to it as drinking from a fire hydrant.
It
Very
is.
good.
Like,
Very
so
good.
it is. You are literally blown away
Yeah.
by this. But when it's happening to you, it's so exhilarating, and there's such a rush, and you have these really deep emotional moments where you feel really human.
Did we have one of those last night with Charity?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it was beautiful. It was one of the most poignant moments. So, I mean, and then at the end of it, you're just exhausted, but you're so hopeful and so optimistic about what's coming down the pike. And it's like, I always feel like this is like a mental spa for anybody who's in health innovation, because it is just so hard. But then to be surrounded by so many like-minded people who are going through the same struggles and then have the same, moment together,
Right.
and then to come out the other side of it. I'm like, that's my commercial for XMed, sorry.
No, I
But
think
it's true. I mean, for anybody who's never been, really put it on your bucket list.
we do. I mean, from the standpoint of really helping people to have a paradigm shift in their work,
Yep.
in the way they think about what impact they might have. So my sense is that what people reflect back to us is, you've given me the connections, you've given me the vocabulary, you've given me the aspiration. Like, here's the things that I actually can do. So all those things that felt really overwhelming and I can't.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some people here who can help me.
I'm telling you, the optimism, and you can feel it. There's really a buzz in the room, and I know one of the things that we try to do here in the Insights Lounge really is to bring that sense of what's going on and capture that flavor.
Right,
I
right.
mean, we're here in the iLab, and for anybody, I keep looking out into this beautiful ballroom. I wish you guys could see it. But there's a number of different startup companies that are exhibiting, and there's just great conversation happening. And we're lucky enough to be able to pluck not only the speakers from your stage, but also some of these people who are just attending, and they're just amazing.
I want to hit on that because a couple things that we're going to be doing tonight. So Jen Brea, the film Unrest.
Oh, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Daniel mentioned it last night in his recap.
Right. So Jen is one of those patient innovators, is what I like to refer to it. She ended up in a situation that you would not expect to find yourself. She took a camera, turned it on herself, and in that she identified an entire community of people who have basically been left out because the medical care, the research just didn't fit She didn't fit neatly into that. So
Tell me a little bit about her story.
I don't want to take away too much of it.
Right.
I really don't. I mean, I would suggest going to the trailer, the Unrest trailer.
Sure.
But part of that is that chronic fatigue or just this overwhelming sense of, I don't feel well, I can't move, I can't get out of bed, and so many times being told it's in your head.
Yep.
She's like, it's absolutely not in my head. So when we don't have those easy pathways to get to an answer or to a treatment plan, really kind of left on your own to try to figure that out. So this is her story and her experience and her journey of getting there and identifying so many other people who have had this experience. So she's going to be here, and we're also filming it. I mean, we're screening the documentary tonight, opening it up to the public. So if you're here in San Diego,
fantastic.
please go to our website. Or you can. It's actually an Eventbrite link for the film Unrest.
How does somebody get there, Shawna? Do you know? It's on the Exponential Medicine website?
It's on, yes, we have the link to it on the Exponential Medicine website.
And also, is the trailer there as well?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So if you guys want to check that out, Exponential Medicine's
you
website.
can come and see. I mean, it'll be in the
Just
ballroom.
show up at the Dell.
We would like you to actually register. The Dell might not like exactly that, but she will be here, and I think that that's going to be, again, one of those. We spend an awful lot of time thinking about the patients and the consumer experience and making sure that their participation and their voice, because at the end of the day, that's really what we're here for, is making sure that we are caring and getting help, not just health care.
Right.
So caring for the human. And this is again a very important reminder of why it is what we do and informing how we do it. So that's going to be a really fun piece. And then the other part, when you were mentioning how many brilliant people we have in the audience.
I was just going to ask, talk to me about those Medi Awards, Shawna.
Well, there's the Medi Awards, so those get started today. I mean, it is a 12-ring circus that we run here.
Yeah, it is.
It is. But I think that the other part that I wanted to hit on is our Unconference.
Oh, yeah, talk about that for a minute.
So what we do is we invite this amazing group of people, many of whom could be on our faculty, what work are you doing? What things do you want to share? So they submitted into a website.
Okay.
We look at all these topics, and I have been able to read through all these topics and like, oh my gosh, there's so much rich stuff. So ideas that people want to talk about, and then we go through and we figure out what that looks like. And then in the evening, we do the unconference, so it's all the participants who have submitted their ideas, and then we have this round robin where there are 8 sessions going on simultaneously, back to back. So there are three rounds of it.
That sounds amazing.
That
sounds amazing.
It is. So it's fun for me to see all of the brilliance that we have assembled in the audience. So we do our best to send them over here so that you can capture it.
And thank you for doing that. And so for us, we've got a few minutes left, and so I'm going to wrap up here so that everybody can get ready. But so a few housekeeping things. So anybody who had watched the live stream yesterday, and you've seen our interviews that took place live, there were a number of interviews that we did that were recorded.
Yes.
So Larry Smart, a number of different people.
And the social determinants of health.
That panel, we interviewed them afterward. Well, all of those interviews that we did that are just sidebar conversations, which are a little bit less formal than when they're talking on stage, all of those will be available on the GuideWell YouTube channel.
Right.
And so that is youtube.com/GuideWellMHC. So if you guys want to take a look for that, or you can just search GuideWell in YouTube and find them.
The other thing too that we want you to do is that when you're watching those videos, talk to us.
Yeah, tweet about them.
Let us know. We'd love to hear your what when you see those talks and you see those ideas, where in your communities are these things being activated?
Right.
So we want to be able to discover those, be aware of those, and connect all of those dots.
Yes, and it was great. Some of the conversations we had, a few to look for. Naveen Jain, that was a wonderful conversation. He's just so energetic. And then John Madison, the CMIO of Kaiser Permanente, talking about blockchain. Take a look for that one. It's a little bit hard to hear because it was during the live broadcast and the room was full. But if you listen to what he says, I was blown away.
Yes.
I'm a blockchain geek, believe it or not. So
yes, this is a really good place for those of us who have geek crushes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we have a couple of geek crushes going on
As I keep talking, John Madison, tell me more. So I got to ask all my burning questions, which is like, I'm the luckiest girl. But we're gonna, I think, throw it live here in a few seconds. In 1 minute is what I'm hearing. And so thank you again to everybody who's been watching the live stream and for joining us virtually and being part of the XMed experience. Your thoughts and your actions are actually, especially the Twitterverse, we're pulling your tweets in live on screens in the hallway, and people stop and gather and start to talk about them. And so thank you so much for sharing your content and sharing your ideas and your reactions to what you're seeing here on the stage.
And thanks again for being here.
Oh my gosh, we're happy to be here.
We're having a great time.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful, it's wonderful. So Shawna, thank you so much. I hear the main stage music. I'm waiting to be pulled out.
That's right.
Don't forget, #XMed. Here we go. Thank you again, Shawna, for joining us. I'm Jessica DeMassa from the GuideWell Insights Lounge. We'll see you guys at the next break, and we'll be live with some interviews then. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.